Hey, this is a 10-minute morning workout to strengthen your core and low back. I'm here with my friend and student Elizabeth, who's going to be demoing for me. Let's get started. To begin, we'll come into some Navasana boat pose variations. So come to sit on your mat with the soles of the feet on the floor. And this can be deceivingly challenging. So I'm going to have Elizabeth hold behind her thighs, lift up through the heart a lot, and slowly begin to lean back to that place where she finds her abs engage. Little tip for you at home, this is going to be more challenging if you take your heels closer towards your groin. The farther away the heels are from the groin, it's going to make this easier. So you find the place you want your feet to be in the mat, and then press your big toes into the mat like crazy. As you press your big toes into the mat, lengthen your arms, lean back, keeping the heart lifted. Option to extend the arms like Elizabeth is showing here. So this is a great little way to test and calibrate your own core power in the morning. She's deepening her breath, finding that ujjayi audible breath in and out through the nose. And remember, you can always hold back on underneath the thighs if it gets too intense. Now again, we're just warming up here, so this doesn't need to be your most intense, like core in pain. Just start to awaken this area of the body. Keep lifting through the heart, squeezing the shoulder blades together, leaning back, pressing down through the toes. Option to experiment one more time with lifting one arm and then the other. This is where I like to stay. Some of you, if you really want that next step in challenge, take the shins now parallel to the ceiling. You can do one and then the other. Keep thinking of a string between your collarbones lifting the heart. We're here for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice job, Elizabeth. Drop the feet, and now give yourself a hug. Hug the shins, let the low back release, chin into chest. Nice work. I love warming up the core using that Navasana and realizing that I don't need to do crazy crunches or be straining my neck at all, just to feel the abs engage. Nice. All right, let's come into a forearm plank now. So heating it up just a touch. We've built awareness of the core muscles at this point. And I always love forearm plank because so many of us have wrist issues. So this is a really nice place to be. And then Elizabeth's gonna kind of walk her feet back. Nice, so her hips are right in line with her shoulders. Right away here, think of your belt buckle. So visualize where your belt buckle would be and draw it towards your chin. You can even think of your low back rounding towards the ceiling a little bit. See that little adjustment she just made? It's gonna make the pose so much harder. We're gonna be here for 5 breaths. So keep pressing the heels away, drawing the navel up towards the ceiling, wrapping the obliques and the abs like saran wrap in towards the body. Last 3 breaths. Good, stay with it. 2, last 1. Hold, 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 hold. And now come on down into Sphinx pose. So just let the hips come down. Adjust if you need to so that the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Broaden the chest and the collarbones. You're not gonna like me, but we're gonna do forearm plank once more. And then that's kind of like the end of our little mini core work here. We'll focus on strengthening the back. So enjoy this Sphinx, let the heart melt forward. Keep the legs engaged though, so the kneecaps lift up off the ground. Let the breath recalibrate. Good. All right, realizing this is the only other core thing you have to do today and this morning, come back into your forearm plank. All right, come back right into the apex of where you were before. So thinking of your hips moving towards your chin, low back is maybe even rounding, doming towards the sky, tailbone lengthens towards the heels. And we're just gonna do itty bitty tilt. So tilt your hips to the right and to the left, and to the right and to the left. Way smaller movement, Elizabeth, just make it tiny. I should barely see that you're moving, so I just want it teeny tiny, just like this. Yes, like she's showing here, teeny tiny, teeny tiny. Last teeny 3, teeny 2, teeny 1. Hold, stay here. Everything stays very still. Barely let me see you. Micro bend the knees and straighten. Micro bend the knees and straighten. Just at center. Micro bend the knees and straighten. Yep, just at center. Micro bend the knees and straighten. Last 3, tiny bend. Last 2, really extend. Last 1, and hold, 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 hold. Beautiful. Come down into your Sphinx pose. Nicely done. That's way harder than it looks. Broaden across the chest. Let the breath recalibrate. And a big tip for you if you're coming back and you're doing this little routine every morning is that the smaller you make those movements, like when I had Elizabeth make it smaller, it actually gets harder. Did you find that to be true at all? Yeah, she's nodding. It's harder. So the tinier you make those little swivels and the tinier you make the knee bends, it's actually kind of better. So let's relax fully. Come to take the forehead to the floor. Nice. You can take a couple deep breaths. Bend the knees. Windshield wiper the legs, so just let them drop right and left. Good. And we're going to do my other very favorite morning yoga pose for this other area of the body, our low back, that so often gets overlooked. So Elizabeth, straighten your legs now and take both of your hands onto your low back, both palms facing up towards the ceiling. Now again, this is one of those moves that's not popular. You're not going to like me, but it's absolutely vital for your low back health, and you will love me long term if you keep doing this. It'll change your low back forever. So first we'll keep the legs out of it, Elizabeth. So just keep the legs, everyone, straight. So kneecaps are lifted off the mat, so you do have some engagement. We won't add in the legs quite yet. What's going to happen is that on an in-breath, Elizabeth's going to take her left arm and reach it forward as she comes up and peels her chest off the mat. Yes. So her low back is doing all the work. She'll exhale, take it back. So the palm comes back to face the ceiling, and her next inhale, she'll do the other side. The right arm kind of swims forward, lift the heart, lift the chest. She's using all her low back muscles here, way harder than it looks, and then take the hand back. So let's do this once more on each side. This is not about how far you can get your chest away from the mat, because for most of us, it's going to be like barely at all, because we're using these lower back muscles that are overlooked. That's why this is such an important routine to incorporate. Yeah. So a lot of you will want to stay here, and I'm going to invite you to do this 2 more times. Some of you might want to go on to this deeper variation that Elizabeth's going to show. She's going to lift her right leg as she moves her left arm. Yep, but keep the legs straight. Reach, 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 everything up. Yes, and now other side. So as the left hand comes back, now the right hand and the left leg, keep the leg straight. You're extending it back and up. Come forward. Is your low back like on fire right now? Yes. So let's do 1 more each side. If adding in the straight leg lifting is too much, you just come back to doing the variation just with the arms, and that's okay, right? Last time on the right, or whatever your final side is. Beautiful. Both hands to the sky, just relax. You can bend the knees again, do those windshield wiper kind of movements again if that feels good. Nice. And then we'll just come into a static Cobra hold to close. So take the legs straight again, engage the legs, kneecaps lift, take the middle finger directly under your shoulders, and now peel your chest up off the mat. So kneecaps lift, legs are strong, you have a really long, great, strong Cobra tail, pin the elbows towards one another, and now do what I call the hover test. Lift your hands up off the mat, just like Elizabeth is showing here. Can you lift them more, Elizabeth, so they can really see at home? So you're testing that you're not using your hands to press into the mat, you're really using your low back strength. Okay, 2 more breaths here. Nice. Last one. All right, forehead to the mat. Best part of class, shift back into a super wide leg, wide knee, child's pose, and just begin to breathe into your low back. This is where I'm gonna leave you. This would be a perfect spot to follow this up with, another yoga class, some cat-cow, your own personal practice. Otherwise, just spend a couple minutes really breathing into the space of your sacrum, low back here. I'm so proud of you for doing all these really challenging therapeutic exercises, but I promise if you come back to this routine every morning or even 3 or 4 times a week, you'll start to notice a difference in your low back. So great job getting your morning workout in. Namaste.
If you really want to nerd out on yoga, did you know that I have an online yoga teacher training? Yes, you can complete your 200-hour certification, or if you are already a yoga teacher, your 300-500 advanced yoga certification 100% online. Watch this video next for more details on how it works, and download the brochure on my website. From my heart to yours, namaste.